Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm sitting here with my mom, Teresa. The date is May 26, 2022, and we're filming this interview in Cicero, Illinois. Hi, Mom.
Hi. I think you should describe the setting.
Okay, we're outside in our backyard right now. It's a little bit in disarray because they had a cookout while I was gone. My dad is sitting a couple feet away, but he will not be participating in the interview. So I haven't seen my mom since 7 in the morning, and right now it's about to be 9 p.m. So how was your day?
It was busy.
Busy.
Yeah, busy. Busy, yeah.
Busy but good.
Busy and productive.
Busy and productive. Okay. So while we're on this subject, what do you do for a living?
I am a lab specialist for an orthodontic office in Elmhurst. For those that don't know what orthodontics is, it's the placement of braces. So I work with a doctor who places braces.
Okay. So
And I make the retainers. That's what I do.
she sure does. So the occupation you have now, is this what you thought you would be when you were younger?
No. It's far from it. Yeah, no.
So what was like your original dream job?
I think from the time I could remember, I wanted to be a teacher, actually.
Really? And why didn't you pursue that?
I think I always like to say life happened. Those are the neighbor kids. I think life happened. I want to say I met your dad, and through things that happened in our lives, I raised Jacob and Maya, your cousins.
My cousins, yes.
At a very young age. So by the time I met your dad, I was 17, but really had the mentality of maybe like a 27, 30-year-old person because,
Right.
I was put into that
Environment.
position where I had to mother children that weren't mine,
Yes.
So I did go to college. Not long, maybe a year, pursuing that. And then I think I just wrapped myself up in my life with your dad, and I never thought about it again,
But are you content where you are now?
I am. I really am. I actually am content where I am now.
That's good. So, talking about the past, your younger years, what was your upbringing like?
As far as what?
Like your dynamic with your parents and your siblings?
So technically, I grew up in a one-parent household, although both parents were very, involved in my life. I lived with my mother, your grandmother, but I did see my dad every weekend. He was just a phone call away. So I never felt like I didn't grow up with my dad. As far as like dynamics, so your grandmother was my provider. She was my disciplinarian.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, she was my mother. So that's the dynamic I had with her. It wasn't until adulthood, now that I have my own kids, that we have more of a friendship dynamic than a mother-daughter dynamic.
And I think I don't relate to that at all because I feel like I've had a friendship dynamic with you since I was a young girl. So
I think I definitely do parent differently than my mom did.
yeah.
My mom, I'm not going to say she was really strict, but she was a disciplinarian, and she did expect a lot of things from us. Okay, like I said, like I took care of your Tia Yolanda's kids. I raised them, and like, you have your younger sister, and I do ask you to help me a lot with her, but at the same time, I do want you guys to recognize that that's not your responsibility,
Yeah. And that's actually one of my next questions. Do you think that your parents, like the way that they parented you, did that influence you with your kids, good or bad?
So I can't really say for as far as my dad. My dad never disciplined me, and I think that's just because he didn't live with me. So whatever time he did have with me, he was always the good parent, I definitely do see a lot of I do catch myself telling you guys, like you and your, siblings, I do catch myself telling you a lot of things that my mom would tell me growing up,
Right.
So I think, yeah, she had, I do see myself parenting you guys the way she did, except sometimes I feel I'm not as harsh as she is. My mother expected things from me. My mother expected me to clean the house. She expected me to, have, they weren't even chores. They weren't considered chores. I just knew I had to do them.
So,
but you know what? My mom was always encouraging. And I feel like I find myself encouraging you guys to, like, go for whatever it is you guys want,
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you have, like, a vivid childhood memory that you like to share? Something that just sticks out to you whenever you think about being a kid?
You know what? That's so weird. We were just talking about this the other night, and with Grandma, and I was telling her that because we were talking about our most earliest memory, and I think I said I was 5, and I remember I was, I don't know, I remember crying for some reason, but as far as, like, memories, like, I don't know, it depends. I mean, you have to be a little bit more specific.
Maybe an unpleasant memory.
An unpleasant memory.
Something that just stuck with you.
I'm really, really good at compartmentalizing things.
Compartmentalizing, yes.
I really, really am. And I feel like a lot of stuff that maybe wasn't pleasant for me, I don't think I've blocked it out, but I've really, maybe to the point where I've forgotten it. But unpleasant, like, I remember, and it really has nothing to do with your grandmother, actually. But it's, like I said, your grandfather was a very big part of my life, was there every weekend. But I do remember I used to hate having to go to your grandfather's house because his wife was very mean to me. And I do remember being very resentful towards your grandmother because she'd force me to go over there, but she was only doing the thing, she thought, this is your father, he looks for you, he wants to see you, go visit him. But I do remember feeling very emotionally abused by his wife. And I think that if you're talking about unpleasant memories, that is, yeah.
Yeah. And I do think that, I mean, it's not surprising to me that you couldn't really remember anything on the spot, because unpleasant things like that, we tend to repress them, and they don't surface for a while. But switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about you and my dad.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So throughout my childhood, I felt like I don't want to make this seem like I'm calling you like a negligent parent. You were not a negligent parent. Neither of you were. But I do think that you guys weren't, like, very warm and fuzzy either.
Okay.
And you said that.
I agree.
You've said that, like,
I agree.
It wasn't a household where there would just be, like, random hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've learned to go to you for that stuff if I ever need it, because it's not like you're gonna turn me away.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just something I wanted to mention about my childhood. But the question is, like, is there a lesson that you've learned in your marriage?
You know what? I think I've learned, like, it's almost like you said, that I'm not a very affectionate person, and I'm not. And you had to learn how to ask me for that affection when you want it. It's the same with me. Your dad, he comes from a household that he was not shown any affection. Your grandmother, her affection was shown in providing me a roof over my head, food in my stomach, clothes, a shirt on my back. That's how she showed me affection. But I don't think I ever felt that my mom didn't love me, right? In my marriage, I feel like I've also learned that, like, from your dad. Like, if there's something that I need from him emotionally, I've learned to ask for it, just like you've learned to ask for it from me. Yeah, sorry. Speak of your grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. We've learned to ask for it.
Mhm.
And
there's nothing bad about that.
No, there
It doesn't
isn't.
make like it doesn't. I don't want to villainize your dad, but you know your dad's not used to giving that kind of affection. So if that's what I need from him, then I should ask for it. You
Yeah.
know.
And it took me a long time to learn that I can't be mad at my parents for the way that they were raised and the values that they had.
See, I always tell you, you know, like as
Yeah.
far as your dad, he loves you the only way he knows how, you know, and his love is like my mom's love. I'm gonna provide for you. That's how I'm gonna show you I love you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it sucks sometimes because you want to have that dad that's like, you know.
But he, like you said, he has his own way of showing us that he loves us. And I do see that a lot in Jesse, too, my brother Jesse, for those
Oh
of you
my
who listen.
God, Miguel,
Pa.
please. Estamos grabando. Sí. God,
Okay.
please. All right. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so anyway. What I was saying was that I see a lot of my brother Jesse and my father in the sense that they love me the only way that they know how.
Mhm.
And maybe it's just a guy thing. Maybe it's just a Dominguez male mindset.
Yeah.
The way that they just do small gestures instead of coming right out and saying it. Jesse will make me food throughout the day without me asking. My dad considers like picking me up and stuff, our little car rides, as just our time together.
Yeah.
So yeah. And my other question was, do you think that you and my dad are good role models for love?
No.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Your father and me have a very different type of way of showing love and affection towards each other. And it's never been an open thing for the kids to see, you know. We're not great communicators. Okay, so if he's frustrated or I'm frustrated, sometimes it could lead into an argument that shouldn't happen, because all we have to do is just really sit down and communicate. I'm frustrated, right? So sadly, no, I don't think that we are like role models for love. I mean, I'm honest when I say I don't want you to have this kind of marriage. I'm not saying that it's a loveless marriage. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's not. But it's been really difficult, you know. It's been really difficult, but this is why I always tell you guys, and I'm always open and I speak to you guys about if there's an argument and something is said that's not right, that wasn't right. I want you guys to know that, you know what, no one should be speaking to you this way, or, you know, vice versa. You shouldn't be speaking like that to nobody, you know. So no, I don't think we're role models. I mean,
And I think we've all reached the age, or at least me and my older siblings, because I have two sisters and a brother. One sister is older, my brother's older, and then we have a little sister. The older kids have already come to see that
yeah,
on their own, that our parents aren't the best example of a relationship. And I try to apply that to my own relationships, even though I'm fairly new to dating and love.
yeah, but and not only to your dating relationships, but your friendships.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you have to, yeah.
So, moving on to something else, something about me and you.
Okay.
How do you think that we're alike, and how do you think that we're different?
First, I think we're different in the sense that you know, like, you're so much more open to the way we're living now, and not saying that, oh my God, I'm so ancient that I'm not open to it, but we're so different in that maybe you're open to understanding, and I'm more like, well, I don't understand this, so I'm not gonna try to, you know, in that sense, like, right? and I feel like we're alike almost in the same sense. Like your moral compass is your moral compass, and you don't want to compromise that for nobody.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I'm the same way. Like when I feel something is right, it's right, and when I feel something is wrong, it's wrong. You know, and it's like I don't let nobody talk me down from it. You know, and I think that's how we're alike.
Yeah. Also,
And
just
sometimes it could lead to us butting heads because it's like something's got to give and nobody's giving it. You know, like you know.
physically though, also, I think I look most like you.
Oh yeah, physically, yeah. I feel like you and Jesse look more like me, and Danny and your sister look more like your dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that I think it, but I've been told a lot of times. So, yeah.
I do see what you mean when you say that I'm more open to understanding, but you have to give yourself credit because I think you do try. I mean, I get frustrated with you sometimes, like explaining these things to you, but you do try.
Yeah. No, I am open to like listening, and I do try to understand, you know, and not saying completely like, oh, I'm closed-minded completely. No, I'm not. But yeah, you do get frustrated with me, but
It's only because I love you and I want you to see what I see.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Was there ever a time in my life where I deeply disappointed you?
You know what, surprisingly, like you say deeply, no.
Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, and no, I don't know. No, I mean, I'm sure there's times where I've been upset with you over, you know, even with our arguments, but I wouldn't say that's your dad shaking his fertilizer
Into the plants. Okay.
yeah, his plant. No, there's even during our arguments, I've been upset, but disappointment is like a really strong feeling, you know, and I don't think I've been disappointed by you like that. No.
That surprises me because I feel like I've done a lot of stuff. I don't want to say this, but I feel like I've given you the hardest time out of all my siblings.
No, I don't agree.
Really?
No.
Even with like everything that happened when I was in middle school?
That definitely was scary. Even then I wasn't disappointed. Yeah, even with that, no. No, because you know what? It's almost like you went through what you went through, and how can I be disappointed at that? That's how you feel. That's how you felt, you know?
Yeah. And from child to parent, I've never been disappointed in you.
Really?
Ever. Never.
That's hard to believe, but
No, never. I mean, I've been so mad at you. We've stopped talking for like weeks on end because of fights, but
yeah.
I've never been disappointed in you
Okay.
because at the end of the day, I know that you're my mom, and like you said,
I feel like I need you to understand and know that, like, everything I do comes from a place of love.
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect person, and maybe I have said some things that maybe like have come out in a moment of anger, but I really, really try not to say something that I'm gonna regret, just because like words hurt sometimes more than like a physical, you know,
Yeah.
pain, you know, like a physical, you know.
Yeah, so it's so late at night and I've lost my train of thought. I've never been disappointed in you because I know that everything you do it for a reason, and in your head, even though I may not see it.
In my head, it makes sense,
yeah,
right?
I may not see it at the time, but you're doing that for my well-being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, 20 minutes, that's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
High five.
High five. We should have one of these in the table on a Friday when all of us are gathered together.
A podcast, I'm telling you.
I think we'd be great at that.
I love you.
I feel like I love you too. I love you too. No matter what.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no matter what.
If I went and got a septum tomorrow. Why
Even
did you
then.
why did you hesitate?
No, because no, because it took me a while to realize you wouldn't be able to get it anyway because you need parent, present with you. No, but no, I love you no matter what, and that really is true. No matter what, parents' love is it's unconditional. I mean,
Oh, you missed another similarity too. I was just thinking about true crime.
I love true
I
crime.
love true crime.
I love true crime. Yeah, but we definitely should do something like this on a Friday when all of us are gathered. A podcast. I feel like it'd be a little controversial, but
Yeah, I feel like we just have. I mean, one-on-one we can do this, but imagine the whole family. I mean, somebody asks one wrong question, it all goes to hell.
yeah.
But that is something.
But then we'll be gathered again the next Friday doing the same thing. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.